All right, so made it here to the Dream for just my one night stay before setting sail again out of Fort Lauderdale. Really good deal here. It's about $150 a night. Even though it's 12,000 points a night for my night, I really just decided to pay cash because value Hyatt points, 12,000 Hyatt points is about $240. So to me, it just made sense. It may make different sense to you, but just FYI, that's what I paid for my stay overall. Very comfortable room. I got a pretty big upgrade for this hotel, at least. It's not a gigantic room by any means. Just below the Platinum Suite, which is technically the Globalist upgrade you can get to the standard suite here. Overall, no noise issues yet that I've noticed, but they do have some earplugs over there in the bathroom, which kind of worries me a little bit. Usually that's not a good sign for noise in the hotel, but we're in South Beach, so can't really complain about that. I knew what I was getting into. Overall, great location, really close to the beach, really amazing spot for restaurants at night. So excited to explore a little bit more in the morning when it's light out. So let's take a tour of room 202 here at the Dream South Beach. So I did receive this upgrade as a Globalist. So I stay 60 nights a year through a combo of credit card spend and Hyatt stays. If you are a member of the channel, you'll know that I stay at a lot of Hyatts. You can check out other tours of Hyatt properties around the area and around the world on the channel. So one thing I do want to note is as you walk into this suite, there is a glassed-in area that looks directly into the shower, much like a W or the Breathless Resort that I just stayed at down in Mexico. So if you're sharing a room with someone, just make sure that you know them very well because they're walking in the door, they can see you showering. That's a very interesting aspect of this room. Some desk area to do a little work if you're here on business. I doubt that you are, and this is probably not a great hotel for that purpose. Couch area for hanging out. Cool little chandelier. I am testing out my new camera here, so let me know in the comments if you like the image quality of these tours going forward. Hope to level up what things look like here in 2025. Lots of chargers around the beds as well. Plugs, USB-Cs, USB-As. Even some contact charging, so that's nice. Closet just opens up here. Some areas for hanging clothes. You got your irons and your safe right in here. Laundry bags for any laundry. Umbrella, which may come in handy during those rains here in Miami. And there's a small fridge with some glassware right there, and that's where you found my champagne, which they welcomed me with at check-in. This is a nice little feature of the resort fee here. Don't pay that as a Globalist, but it does include a lot of inclusion. We'll get to that in just a minute after we're done with the tour here. Bathroom, not very big, but I like the style of it, like the tile on the walls. Small toilet next to the sink here. And then you do have those mentioned earplugs to help out with any noise that might be coming through the rooms. And then interestingly, they do have single-use shampoos and conditioners. It's pretty rare to find these now at the branded hotels. So it's nice to grab those. I really did like them too. Decent sized shower and just very comfortable room. I thought this was perfect for one person for one night. And I did like having an alley as my view because it did remain fairly quiet during my stay. Directly across the street in the Viajero, Miami is one of the top bars in the United States. It's called Swizzle, and it's a rum bar. Cocktails here were pretty incredible. I was able to check that out right before dinner. So it's a top 100 bar. It's on the top 50 bars list, which confusingly has a top 100 list as well. But definitely check that out if you're here. I think it was pretty cool. But there's lots of those Art Deco buildings around. This being just a block from the beach. Lots of great restaurants too. La Leggenda is a top 50 pizza restaurant. And I've had it before, delivery, never been to the actual restaurant, and the pizza just absolutely slapped. It's unbelievable. So definitely check this out. It's very casual, not too expensive. Definitely check that out for one of the best pizzas in the entire world. Walking back to the hotel, I did see the Crunch Fitness there, and that's the gym for the property. There's no property gym like on the premises, so you do have to go over to Crunch, but you do get a nice gym, and I think it's 2 times per stay that you're allowed to use it, but I'm sure that they'll give you more if you need it, if you have a longer stay. Do like the buildings here, very Art Deco. The next morning, I took a look at the rooftop pool complex. So this is going to be the highlight of most people's visits here. Most people are going to be at the Dream on vacation. They're going to be staying for a couple nights, maybe partying here in South Beach, heading to the beach. So the 2 buildings for the property are connected by this sky bridge, which is pretty cool. You just have really great views here. Right next door is the Versace Mansion, which is pretty cool. Cool little touristy spot. Nice small rooftop pool. Lots of sun loungers around. It was pretty windy up here when I was here for my one night stay, but Just a nice little environment to be very close to the beach, have some ocean views from your pool, which I think is even pretty rare even in Miami sometimes. So it's nice that they have this option. They do have a bar up here. They have some amenities available to people staying at the hotel, like towels, things like that. And as part of the resort fee, there are a few days a week that they do rooftop yoga and exercise classes. So there is some fitness or at least wellness available on the property on certain days. I believe that's at 8:30 in the morning, according to some of the literature in my room. Didn't get a chance to try it this trip, but this is mostly going to be a hangout pool, have some drinks near a pool, have some ocean views. So this is going to be pretty popular during certain times of the year. It was still kind of the end of summer during my stay. It was also still early in the morning, so people weren't in and around the pool, but this will be very popular in the afternoons and at sunset. It's a great deal for a hotel, though, being this close to the beach, only a block and a half from the beach, and having some ocean views and paying less than $150. I think just a fantastic deal. High bar was not open in the morning. I was walking around, but this is going to be a typical bar, cocktails, that sort of thing. Heading back downstairs in between the two buildings, you have sort of a Zen garden going on. This is also where you pick up the Dream bikes if you happen to rent those. There's the boardwalk right there. So it's really a fun option to be able to have some free bikes to use and rent. And then as a Globalist, I did receive free breakfast here on property. It's my favorite benefit of Globalist with World of Hyatt. So that's available at Naked Taco. Naked Taco offering Globalist a coffee, a juice, and an entree. Didn't seem like this was too busy of an establishment. There were sometimes a few more homeless people in there walking through the outdoor patio I was eating on than customers. I had to call security, but they got that handled really quickly. But really delicious orange juice. Nice little Kona Big Wave there too. And I had the chicken and waffles with some hot honey syrup. Delicious. Really, really good. Nothing too fancy, but a nice little Globalist breakfast there. Then after breakfast, I wanted to take a walk and check things out around South Beach a little bit. Versace Mansion, as I mentioned, is right next to the hotel. So you can check that out. You can go in there. I think they have a restaurant. Bike lanes everywhere, bike paths everywhere right next to the beach as well. And then the beach, you do have to walk a little bit around their park, and they had some events going on, so it might be a little bit easier to access during certain times of the year. But very, very easy to get over to South Beach. Not my favorite beach to swim and hang out at on Earth, but it's still a classic, still very famous, of course. I think it's all about the boardwalk and being able to run around. So overall, a very, very nice stay here at the Dream Miami. I would definitely return, especially for the price. I got lucky, I think, with the noise in the room because it could be really bad certain times of year, but thanks a lot for watching.